Hey everyone, it's Christian, your Vancouver Realtor, and I want to talk today about the market outlook for 2022 and also share some stories of clients that I'm working with right now and what we're going through to try to get a home in this very competitive, low listings environment. And I'm going to give you some examples here in a moment. What I want to do is first do a quick recap of what the price gains were like in 2021. And it's instructive. So let's look at the three. So we have condos, townhomes, and detached homes. Condos were up 16% last year, year on year. Townhomes 27%, detached homes 30%. Those are some huge gains. I personally don't expect to see those same numbers repeated this year. That would be too much to ask for the market, even with this low listings environment. That being said, I can't predict with a crystal ball what the exact number is going to be, and nobody can. And if you're reading or you're watching television and anybody pops up on CTV or BNN and they're telling you that they expect the market to pick up by a certain number like 13% or be down by 5%, don't believe any of that. That is far too precise, and nobody has the ability to fortune tell like that. And even us realtors, I'm in the business, I'm in the market every single day, but I can't do that. Nobody can. But what I do believe is those were strong gains. I do not think we can repeat those back to back, but you could always be proven wrong. But here's what we can do. We can look at trends. We can study the trends. So for example, we know that the population, that the federal Liberals want to increase the immigration levels to 400,000 per year. That's up from 300,000. That's 100,000 more people. Where are the homes these folks are going to live in? And so you can imagine that puts pressure on rents. It puts pressure on prices when you have another 100,000 people moving into the country. Here in the Lower Mainland in British Columbia, we know that about 50,000 of those people will move into the Lower Mainland. And again, that puts pressure on rents and prices. So that's where the price gains are stemming from. Now something to know is a lot of these immigrants, they are already here, but their application is in the queue and they're waiting for the green light to come in the mail that says they have finally gotten their permanent residency. I've worked with several clients like that last year. Basically, their buying plans were put on hold because they were waiting for their citizenship or their documents to come in. So that's who those immigrants are in many cases. Other trends, interest rates. With this low interest rate environment, it's still free money. I mean, if you look at the last 40 years of mortgage rates, we're still at rock bottom levels. I mean, 2%, 2.5% for a fixed or 3%. It's still very, very low. It's free money. And as long as those rates are low, I think you're going to see a lot of buyers out there. Now, something else. Rates are likely to go up. If you're reading the business sections or listening to the talking heads on TV, they're saying that, and that's probably the case because inflation's been running rampant. Still, even with 2, 3, 4 rate hikes, that would only amount to a 1% increase. The Bank of Canada is going to go nice and slow on this. So I don't know that with all the rate increases that are anticipated for 2022, I don't think it's going to make a dent, and certainly in terms of people dissuading people from getting a loan from the bank. Another trend to look at is the inventory levels. Inventory levels are very low, and this is really what's driving prices. Give you an example. Normally at this point in time, we have 8,500 homes in the market. Right now, the MLS is showing just a little over 5,000 homes on the market. That's 30% lower than we should be at. I was on a Zoom call with one of the economists at the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, and he was saying in 30 years, he has not seen inventories this low. and going back to the early 1990s. And think about that. We have the same inventory as the late 80s, early 90s, and yet we've doubled in population. So more people, same amount of homes. Obviously, it's really going to put pressure on prices. And we don't add homes fast enough. That's something else to keep in mind. You know, the municipalities control zoning, and they control the permits and the approvals process. And if you talk to builders and developers, and they'll tell you it just takes too long to get buildings approved. It takes too long to get the permits. And as long as that's the case, inventory is going to trickle on very slowly. I'll give you an example. I talked to a couple from Eastern Ontario, and they're moving out to Vancouver. They want a really nice family-friendly neighborhood, so North Vancouver is perfect for them. Locations like Lynn Valley, Upper Delbrook, just, you know, nice quiet streets, you know, recreation, all the kind of space that's really desirable now that a lot of people are working from home. They want maybe a nice yard for their kids to play in. How many homes? 81 homes listed in North Vancouver right now. I mean, we're talking about a part of the greater Vancouver area. This is the third largest city in Canada, and there's only 81 homes on the market in North Vancouver, and you got hundreds, if not thousands, of buyers. So now what I want to share with you is the demand. And here's an example where I'm looking with clients for townhomes. Last weekend, my clients were out looking at a couple of townhomes in South Surrey, White Rock, Morgan Crossing area. And here, the first townhouse here, this was a 3-bedroom, 1,300 square foot, not you know, an inner unit, nothing special, very nice complex, you know, good schools in South Surrey. Listed $799, received 10 offers, sold for almost $900,000. 10 offers. Number 2, same complex. There was a corner 4-bedroom unit, a beautiful unit, immaculately maintained, double car garage. I mean, it's the perfect kind of townhouse. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. 1,600 square feet. There were listed at $899, 12 offers, and sold at almost $1.1 million, almost $200,000 over the asking price. Just incredible, the level of demand. And so there's no indication right now that we're going to see prices level off. I think they're going to continue to climb throughout the year. Maybe not as much as they did last year, but with this kind of demand and this little inventory, I just don't see prices being steady. They're probably going to climb. How much, we don't know. Now, key points to remember here is that if you are out in the market, you've got to be ready. So you have to have your down payment ready. You've got to have income in Canada. A couple of clients there where they didn't have the income. And the third thing is you need to have some sort of a credit history. Very important. If you don't have this, the bank has nothing to go by, and they don't know whether or not they can give you that, trust you with the responsibility to pay back the loan. Credit history is really how the bank does that. So you've got, if you're out there and you don't yet have a credit card, please do go and get one. Even if you start off with just something like a $2,000 limit, it's going to help you a lot. I know when I was younger, my grandfather would often dissuade me from credit and debt, and so I didn't have one until I was about 20 years old myself. But you should get a credit card and responsibly pay off your debt. Third example, we're looking for a townhouse now in Langley. For clients, this is how busy it got this week. We haven't even finished the week, and townhomes are so busy, we're getting bully offers. So bully offers when a buyer views it midweek and says, look, I know you're Mr. Seller, you're asking $799, here's $1 million right now. Take it or leave it. And that's what happened here on a townhouse in Langdon. We didn't even get a chance to see it. It came on the market and it's off the market so fast, $200,000 over the listed price. Folks, so you've got to be ready. You've got to be out there viewing midweek. That's how quick moving this market is. I like to say you've got to move like lightning and strike like lightning. So that gives you a little taste of what this market is. If this market had a flavor, it is spicy, spicy hot. And I know it's not easy. You've got to be working in lockstep with your agent, and your agent really has to be a commando here and going in. And you need to be working together. You got to be on the same page, and you've got to have all your financing ready to go from day one. So I hope that has helped. So the market outlook, I would say to you, is it's going to be fairly strong. I think especially the first half of this year is pretty much going to be like last year. And I do feel we could get to a point where prices jump so much that the market's just going to need a breather, because buyers will, there's only a certain amount they may qualify for in terms of getting loans from the bank. So we will probably see if we see a leveling off, I think it might be at sort of the second part of the year. Hope this has helped. Hope you have a great 2022, and we'll see you next time.